my name is Amanda. I also go by Ketoginja. I've lost over 100 pounds eating a ketogenic low-carb diet, and my family budget-friendly recipes can help you do the same. Even if your family eats differently than you and isn't eating low carb, most of my recipes can be worked into just the regular standard American diet, so you have a low carb dish for you that you can accommodate to your family without having to make a bunch of different foods. That's kind of my hallmark. So just a little bit about me. If you are new here, I am 37 years old. I've been eating keto for about 3 years. I've been in weight loss maintenance mode for about 2 years, and I have 2 sons, Lincoln and Levi. They're 4 years old and 5 years old, and they're both on the autism spectrum. I'm married to an amazing husband named Dan, and we like to show you guys and share with you guys a little bit of our life mixed in with what we eat and how we make it. This weekend, we celebrated my husband's birthday, and it got me thinking about date nights and going out to dinner and how little tips and tricks on how to order and what to do to get you set in the mindset of when you are going out to eat and you are maybe a little apprehensive. When I first started, I always felt so awkward and so strange to basically put myself under the microscope in front of whoever I was eating, to talk about what was in certain things or ask a lot of questions, sometimes having to order things a lot differently than the way it's presented on the menu. In the beginning, I had anxiety about it and I was embarrassed, but over time, first of all, there are so many people that are eating specialized diets right now, whether it is plant-based or low carb or keto, gluten-free, you name it, the server has probably heard it. So as long as you are polite and friendly about your requests and your questions, they will not be bothered. I also always tip accordingly if I'm being extra annoying. So today's videos is basically going to be some tips to eating out, whether it is a date night or you're going out with your girlfriends or you're going out with your dude friends and it's a celebratory evening. Going out to eat on keto does not have to be stressful. I don't really have these numbered, but for argument's sake, tip number 1, order a water the second you get to the table. I find that sipping a water just gives me a little reminder in my subconscious to stay on track with what I'm going to order. So as I'm looking over the menu and I'm hydrating myself with water, I tend to want to make better choices. I'm more inclined to make a really good choice if I'm drinking my water. This is also tip number 2, but it's still in the drink category. If you're someone who drinks alcoholic beverages, there are options for you. You just have to be really careful and make sure that they are listening to you when it comes to mixers, because mixers is the hardest part. For the most part, when you go out to eat at a regular restaurant, the only sugar-free and keto-friendly mixer is going to be Diet Coke. I know. If you don't like Diet Coke, you might want to just order whiskey on the rocks or vodka on the rocks. I've been known to order a vodka and soda and add a little bit of Mio or a water enhancer because I am filled with class. Dry champagne is another really good option. Obviously, just a regular schmegular Diet Coke. I tend to be really neurotic about that because I've been given regular Coke instead of Diet Coke on numerous occasions. So I always really aggressively but nice make sure that it's diet. So dry champagne, most spirits, like just plain whiskey, plain vodka, you're okay. You can do whiskey and diet or vodka and diet if you are so inclined. Or you can not drink at all, which is my regular go-to. I typically will order a glass of water or a Diet Coke when we go out. If I'm really in the mood to drink and I am not going off plan, I typically will drink a low-carb beer like Michelob Ultra, and I believe Bud Light is also a low-carb beer. But you can never go wrong with water. Cheaper, too, because they're going to charge you $3 for a soda. Next, let's talk about appetizers, okay? If you are going to a restaurant that is a restaurant that brings bread to the table, if it's just you, or you and your spouse, or you and your friend, and you're both eating low carb, don't ever be afraid to tell them no bread before they bring it, Or thank you, but no thank you, we're not gonna do the bread, and have them remove it from the table. Now, if you're going out to eat with a bunch of people and they're bringing bread to the table, you just have to stand strong. You have to stand firm, let everyone enjoy their bread. You're gonna be okay not eating it. Just remind yourself, this will make me feel like crap afterwards, okay? I know it's not easy to avoid the bread basket, but over time, you can basically, you can count on the fact that eventually you're gonna get used to it. I know that sounds really like crappy advice, but I promise, eventually you will get used to it. We went to Texas Roadhouse over the weekend and they have those big fluffy yeast rolls that most steakhouses do. And I thought that I was going to be kind of triggered, but I just kept telling myself going into it, I knew we were going there. I knew that everyone that I was gonna be with was more than likely gonna eat the bread. So I just carried on a regular conversation, drank my water, ordered a salad, and that was my appetizer. So you just have to be strong and mind over matter, but don't be afraid to tell them no bread, no thank you, or please take this bread. It's fine. You can say that. You are the customer. On that note, hopefully you're going somewhere that has a keto-friendly appetizer so you don't feel left out from the bread. So I've had restaurants make me my own appetizer that isn't even on the menu. Things like grilled shrimp, non-breaded wings, a house salad with no croutons. A lot of times jalapeno poppers are an option. Those are almost always keto friendly. Just get creative with it. And if all else fails, order a salad without croutons and you are able to enjoy in the pre-dinner meal as well. It always makes me feel like I'm splurging too, like when I'm going out to dinner and I get to have an appetizer and this meal and a beverage. I don't want to feel left out, but there's a way to do it with still sticking to your goals, and you're gonna feel so much better afterwards. When everyone else is leaving and they're so full they can hardly move and they have to be rolled out and they want to go home and take a nap, you're gonna feel fine. You're gonna feel like a normal person that just fueled yourself and carried on, because running on fat as fuel doesn't bog you down like that. I wanted to give some examples of how to kind of navigate your choice in restaurants. So this is going to be if you are just going on a date night or just with one person, and if you're attending a group outing, okay? So if it's just you and your spouse or you and a friend, they probably know that you're keto. If you have some input on where to eat and they're asking for your opinion, we will almost always go the route of a steakhouse, because steak and grilled shrimp and a salad is such an awesome meal. That's my go-to, is a steakhouse, because there's going to be something for everyone, and I know that I'm still gonna be able to get a meal that I'm really excited about. And I'll get my steak doctored up. Some cooked onions on it, ask for some creamy horseradish. So I still am going all out, but I'm not going all out with like a pasta. Mexican is another one that's absolutely amazing because there are so many things that could be made keto. My go-to for a Mexican restaurant is to order fajitas without the tortillas. And I just, over the years, I'm fine not eating chips and salsa. When just Dan and I go, we just say no chips and salsa. But if we go with a group, we're just used to it. It's going to take time for you to get there. But if you need a little nosh to not eat the chips and salsa, order a little house salad or a little serving of grilled shrimp or something like that, so you still feel like you're participating and noshing on the appetizer, because I know there's like a mental thing there too. Now, if we are invited to a big out to dinner group outing and no one has asked our opinion on where, we can almost always find something somewhere, okay? It does not matter which restaurant you take me to. For the most part, I'm going to be able to find something that works for me. In the event that there is absolutely no choice whatsoever, there is still almost always a salad option. Almost always, unless you're taking me to like a dessert restaurant, which if you are, you're not my friend. Seafood is another really great way to ensure that you're gonna have some low carb options. Shrimp scampi without the pasta, lobster with butter. If you like seafood, there's usually a lot of different ways to stay keto or low carb at a seafood restaurant. So what are some of your go-to restaurants when you get to pick? Also, where is somewhere that you have been taken as a group that maybe you had trouble finding something? I want to know. I want to hear about it. Like, we went to Olive Garden with a group and I had a very hard time finding something that worked for me there. I had to really engage with the server to find something that worked with me because they were very understanding. I didn't have to get into it. They just basically asked a few questions and we landed on a grilled chicken breast with some broccoli and some Alfredo on top of it, and it was awesome. So sometimes you just have to be creative and remember to be nice to your server and kind of, you know, you don't have to explain everything, but maybe just explain to them that you have a specialized diet and you want to make sure that you're not going to accidentally ingest something that's going to make you feel bad. They are usually so understanding. I'm extraordinarily friendly, so I really do go out of my way to be grateful when someone is helpful. I also love to go to places like Jersey Mike's, the sandwich place. They will do a sub in a bowl. That's a fast food option for date night. We love to grab the sub in a bowl and then go have a picnic somewhere. We'll get blackened chicken tenders from Popeyes. So whether you need a budget-friendly option for date night or you will have no idea where you're going to eat, you are going to be okay. Another big tip. If you are going out with a group and you are not making the choice in where to eat, try and get some intel on the restaurant ahead of time. For example, let's just say, oh, hey Amanda, us and a bunch of friends are going to Texas Roadhouse for dinner. We'll meet you there at 8. Well, do a little bit of recon. Look over the menu. Almost all restaurants have their menu on the computer, on the phone. It's really easy for you to find it. So that way, you're not gonna hold anyone up trying desperately to find something on the menu once you get there. You'll already kind of have an idea of what is gonna work for you to order. That also will help you avoid making an impulse decision once you get there and the menu's in front of your face. You already have kind of a plan and your brain will be like, oh yeah, we read about that. We want to order the salmon with broccoli. Dan and I are super blessed. His mom, Regina, stays with the kids on average once a week for us to be able to go out to dinner, just the two of us. I know what you're thinking. Wow, you're spoiled. Yes, we are. We are so grateful to her for her always knowing that it's important for us to nurture our relationship and take some time just for us, and we're super grateful for it. I want to know what some of your tips are when you are going out to dinner, either as a date night or as a group. What are some ways that you are able to encourage yourself to stick to your low carb convictions? What is helpful to you? Even if it's something silly or something little, leave it down in the comments below, because we have people in this community that are brand new, just getting started, need all the info. We have veterans that have maybe gotten complacent and need some new and fresh ideas. We really run through all walks of life here on their keto journey. So even if you think it's something little, it might help somebody. Above all else, remind yourself that it's just food. It's just fuel for your body to operate at its best. Highlight things like conversation, the people that you're with, people watch. Do whatever you have to do to be able to distract yourself and remind yourself that it's just nourishment. You don't have to sit there and make yourself feel bad because you can't order the po' boy that you used to order or the hamburger with the bun. It's fine. Jazz it up a different way so you still feel satisfied. If I'm craving a giant cheeseburger, I will get the best one on the menu, just with no bun, and either a salad or a vegetable as my side dish, and I still feel like, dang, that was a great burger. If you're new on this journey and you're still struggling with things like going out to eat and feeling like a weirdo, I am here to tell you that you will be amazed at how many people you will interact with, like servers and whatnot, that are fully aware of what it is that you're doing, and they are going to be supportive and they're going to encourage you. And if they don't, encourage yourself, because you know that you are going to eat that awesome low carb meal and you're gonna feel like $1,000,000. Not only because you didn't consume a bunch of sugar and gluten and crap into your system, but having willpower and making the right decision is gonna make you feel super good. last but certainly not least, have a dessert planned at home, okay? You will almost never be able to find a dessert that is going to be sugar-free or keto-friendly when you go out to eat. And because I know that, I have a tendency to make sure that I always have keto dessert at home, so I have that to look forward to. So even if my whole table is ordering cheesecake, lucky me, I have a sugar-free cheesecake in my refrigerator at home, and I know I'm gonna be thinking about it the whole way home, and I will have that waiting for me. And knowing, even if it's you know, some store-bought keto ice cream or a little sugar-free chocolate, whatever it is that's going to kind of get you through not ordering dessert at the restaurant, have something at home to treat your sweet tooth. I really hope this was helpful, and I hope that it gives you some idea and some insight on how to make going out to eat a lot less stressful. Have confidence in what you're doing. No one is gonna judge you or think you're a weirdo because you are trying not to eat sugar. It's perfectly fine to assert yourself when you go out to eat. I love you guys. Don't forget my ebook, Fat Kid Keto, is still 40% off on Etsy. I will leave the link down below. I hope that you guys have an absolutely incredible day today, and I hope that you do something fun. If this was helpful, good. I can't wait to hear what your favorite places to go out to eat are. I love you all, and I will see you really soon.